definition of gangster is so loosely.
Your definition. I don't care about the other people's definition.
My definition don't count, man. That word been tainted so much, like you can't even use that. It's about just being real. Like I'm a gangster because, I run my household in a certain fashion. I cook and I eat and sit down, and my children and my family and my wife, we eat dinner together. We got set times where we eat dinner together. Everybody eat dinner at the table. It's not scattered. We pray together 5 times a day. We sit and read, and I do homework with my kids. That's gangster to me. That's being gangster.
Right, absolutely.
I'm not a daddy, I'm a father.
Yeah.
My children don't know Beanie Sigel.
Yeah.
That's gangster.
How do you feel about this prison term that you have to go through right now?
2 years to get my mind, my body, and my soul correct. Work on my health. Sharpen up my mental skills. Start planning some work and come out and work my plans.
Do you feel that what they gave you was fair, or do you feel that you were targeted in some sort of way?
Both. It could have been worse.
Yeah. What were they originally throwing at you?
I could have been facing 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And you're getting 2.
Yeah.
How is it as someone, growing up, I used to always feel how cool prison was, because how it was glorified hip hop songs. And I remember the first time I got locked up, I was thinking about how hip hop had lied to me all these years about.
Because you know who that is,
fucked up,
and that's what I got a problem with. Like I said, when people advocate things like that, and that's not gangster to me. Like, jail is for people who made mistakes and got caught, or people who put themselves in bad situations. There's some innocent people that's doing life in jail, and there's some rotten souls. Like, I give you songs on what your life like, and talk about the prison life and what you going through. Ain't nothing nice about being in jail or the glorified hat. To be confined to a 5x8 room for 23 hours a day, to be out 23 and 1. What's glorified about that? What part of that makes you a gangster? With people walking past looking at you, because who I am, a celebrity, looking at you like you an animal in the zoo. Like they just got a new white tiger at the zoo and everybody coming to see it, so they keep walking past your cell. What's gangster about that? It's people in prison with life. Can you imagine somebody who will ever had a chance to open a refrigerator door? Stuff that we take for granted.
Yeah. When you're in prison, do they
fry an egg?
Do they put you in PC because of your celebrity status?
No, you could fight that.
So you fight that to get into general population?
Yeah, I'm not a PC person.
Right. Well, it's not always. Is it always up to you, or because they're not going to put Lil Wayne in PC? I mean, in general population. No matter how much he fights it, There's
you can get in general population. It's a such thing called the in-camera interview. That means an in-person interview. Mm-hmm. And you can write, it's such thing called punitive segregation, whereas though they cannot hold you in segregation for nothing. If you don't feel your life is threatened in any type of way, they can't hold you in a hole like that. You can fight that. It's case laws on that.
So when you're
people just get lazy and they get content with that. Not saying that's what Lil Wayne did or whatever, but come on, man, stop it. Like when you going, like when I went to prison, I wasn't Beanie Sigel. I was 57613-066. I was a number like anybody else. So I ain't had no more than anybody else in the jail. I can only spend the same amount of money they could spend on their book, on their commissary every month. My sneakers couldn't have been no better than they sneakers because the prison only sell a certain pair of sneakers, and we all wore the same thing. We all had the same uniform. So, I wasn't no different than anybody else. I had to go on lockdown just like everybody else go on lockdown.
But you had fans in prison.
Yeah,
you had people who listened to your music. Who, especially since your music appeals to a lot of people in the prison system.
Yeah, state property. It came out. It was a voice for those who didn't have a voice.
Right.
So when I went in jail, it was more that I was a window to the outside world that people might never get a chance to see. It was like I didn't go in jail and profess to be this. I didn't have to do that. I just did my time. I ain't disrespect nobody. Nobody disrespected me. It was more people wanted to ask me questions and I'm in jail sitting eating the same thing they eat, and I'm looking at myself on TV. Watching videos and the whole block turning around and looking at me like that. You know what I mean? My trial on TV and they they was rooting for me more than anything. Like, yo man, dude don't belong in here.
So you never had any altercations or anything in prison? One. Can you talk about that?
No need to.
No need to. Fair enough.